Welcome back to my channel. I'm James. Today I've got another advanced review and we're going to be deep diving into the upcoming 20th anniversary Mean Girls on 4K Ultra HD and the 2024 musical comedy Mean Girls, kind of reboot, remake, but in a musical form. And these both were sent to me 2 weeks early from Paramount Studios for me to dive into and review for all of you. And I can tell you the original Mean Girls is one of those films that my wife and I both really enjoy. It's a very funny film. I did not get to see the new musical comedy Mean Girls in theaters, so this was the first time watch when I went through testing and reviewing this, and I'll share my thoughts on this film as well, kind of how it compares to the original, and let you know all the testing data from both of these. Now I am going to be doing my exclusive 4K versus Blu Ray image comparisons for the original 2004 Mean Girls. And that's where I pulled all the native data from the actual 4K disc and the previous Blu Ray transfer. And I'll show you those images up above and show you which one comes out as the winner and let you know if either of these are worth buying and actually adding to your collection. Now, I just released my advanced reviews for The Departed and for The Beekeeper. Both of those I got in a week and a half early for review as well, and those reviews are available right now on this channel. So if you haven't checked out those reviews, I just released those here actually within the last day. So those you can check out the quality of those and if those are something you should buy and add to your collection as well. Now, it's always very important if you decide you're going to buy any of these after you get done watching my reviews and hearing my review scores. Always make sure to go down and use those direct Amazon sale links I pinned as a comment in the comment section right below this video. Those links down there never cost you, the viewer, a penny extra, but they are extremely important to the creation of all of these videos. And the only way I can always continue to create all of these, pull all the native data, spend all this time testing and reviewing these, is through you, my viewers and subscribers' support, through using those direct Amazon sale links right down there below. Now to start off with here, we're going to start off with the previous Blu Ray transfer. Now I will let you know the previous Blu Ray that was released of Mean Girls of the 2004 film actually is the exact same Blu Ray transfer, just with different cover artwork. So no matter what Blu Ray cover artwork you have of that, it's the exact same transfer. They never updated it or changed it in any shape or form since the first Blu Ray transfer was released of this film. So no matter what cover artwork you have, you still have the softer and older Blu Ray transfer that was never changed. I can tell you when it originally came out, it was considered a decent Blu Ray transfer. A lot of people really enjoyed it. I'll tell you, me and my wife really enjoyed it. We've watched it numerous times. Though, like I did say, it is a softer transfer, and it did lack a little bit of color depth and just could have used, obviously, a brand new scan and restoration. Well, I'm happy to report, for Mean Girls' 20th anniversary, it did get a brand new 4K restoration, with both a brand new Dolby Vision and HDR10 Master. And let me tell you, it makes a massive difference in the quality of what you get from the image on this. It is a native 4K 2160p, and the image has a very nice and natural layer of film grain. It is extremely stable with no issues from beginning to end. There was no issues with digital blocking, clumping, digital noise, banding. Zero issues whatsoever. The layer of film grain is nicely stable and filmic from beginning to end, but I will tell you the depth and detail that you notice from the opening scenes all the way to the end is dramatically increased over that previous softer looking Blu Ray transfer. You notice it from the opening scenes when her parents are talking to her, basically giving her the money to go to school, all the way through when she's arriving at school. You can notice clothing, hair, makeup. You can even notice, and not saying this is something a lot of us want to see, but you can even notice when some of the actresses had zits that they actually had to cover up with makeup that you could never see on the previous Blu Ray transfer. Man, the depth and detail on this is extremely impressive. Now, talking about the Dolby Vision and HDR10, I will tell you they were implemented very good. Though I will tell you there is a variance between the Dolby Vision and the HDR10. Dolby Vision was the easy winner with almost a 10% rough advantage over HDR10, both in color tones and overall look of it just looks drastically better color-wise with the Dolby Vision than the HDR10. Now, if you have only HDR10, you will still notice a dramatic improvement in colors. It's a very vibrant and beautiful looking 4K transfer and drastically burns the previous Blu Ray release in all areas to where you really feel like you're watching something completely new, that you sit back and feel like you're watching it for the first time. Both my wife and I sat there kind of just saying over and over again, wow, They did a really good job, Paramount did, with this, as opposed to some of the other ones I've reviewed earlier this year that just weren't so great. This one is a very good 4K transfer. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to go down and give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you're notified right away whenever I release any of these advanced or early reviews. I get tons of things in early from the studios to dive into and test for all of you. So you always want to get notified right away. So make sure to go down there, give this video a like and a thumbs up for me, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. Now this does have an English Dolby True HD 5.1 audio mix. It's very clean, it's very clear. I will tell you it has a very nice sound to it. It doesn't have the best range I've ever heard for an audio mix, but for a comedy, it's very enjoyable, and that's what you're looking for. The music sounds good out of it. You can hear all of the dialogue perfectly fine. I didn't have any issues whatsoever with it, and I very much enjoyed it. And I will tell you, it did sound slightly louder than the previous Blu-ray release. Otherwise, clarity-wise, it does sound just as clear. Just slightly louder was the noticeable thing I did notice on it. It was a couple notches louder than when I tested out the Blu-ray. Now, talking about what you get in this limited edition set. This is only being released in the US as a limited edition 4K release only. Paramount was very specific about this. This is not being released in a standard set. This right now is only being released by Paramount, and it's the only one they have planned, as a limited edition 4K release only. It does come with a J card on here. It says 20th anniversary, first time on Fetch 4K. It does say Burn Book. This is a limited edition slipcover with the set. It does say Mean Girls on the side of it. Then on the back it talks about it. You do get a digital movie code on here. Now this does have a new special feature on it, including all of the previous legacy special features included in the set. So you didn't miss out on anything from the previous Blu-ray release. They're all included in this, plus a new special feature. So I did like that they added something extra in it, basically talking with Tina Fey about kind of the history of Mean Girls, and then obviously all the previous special features all included. Now, when you take the J card off, it does have obviously the lipstick that's all over the back of the Burn Book. I did like that, and it does have obviously the cutout because that's where the machines that basically Paramount uses automatically cut them out, and that's standard because the barcode's there, but it would have been cool if that wasn't there just because it's a limited edition set anyways. The barcode's on the back of the J card, but the way the machines are set up, that's just the way it is, and that's perfectly fine. The limited edition set though, all comes with the limited edition J card, your obviously slipcover, and obviously your inside very unique pink case. I actually really like this. It is one of the coolest 4K cases next to, if you remember Cruella, Disney did a Cruella 4K many years ago that had a red case. I own that as well. This is one of the only other 4K cases I've ever seen where they specifically designed it to be a different color altogether. The pink is really cool. I love the shiny metallic 4K logo and how it's actually pink. I really like the color pink. I think it's really cool, and I think the neon hot pink is so cool on this. Obviously it says Mean Girls on it. Talks about the same as the J card did, but again, limited edition pink case, all included in this limited edition set. Now, when you get inside here, you do get an advertisement with your digital code for the Mean Girls, basically musical, that I'm going to be reviewing later in this video. I did test the 4K disc. It's 100% region free, so you won't have any issues playing this anywhere worldwide. So if you're wanting to import it or buy it through that Amazon link I've posted down below, that ships anywhere worldwide. My understanding is this limited edition set, like the pink case and the Burn Book slipcover, that's all exclusive to the US limited edition set. So if you are wanting to import this to get this limited edition set, don't worry, the disc is 100% region free. And I am happy to report all of the special features and everything are on the 4K disc. And I will tell you, I did test the rough average bitrate out for all of you as well here, and I'll get to that in a second. But it makes a big difference because they included everything. You've got it all. You don't have to worry about watching the old previous poor Blu-ray transfer that was softer looking with just, it didn't have as nice of vibrant colors, and overall depth and detail are nowhere near what you get on this new 4K transfer. Now, I did dive into and test out the rough average bitrate for all of you. I'm happy to report this has a very high, healthy, and strong 77 megabits per second. It's one of those wow experiences. You will notice the depth and detail in the image is extremely pronounced. You will be shocked at how much you can actually see, like I was explaining, especially on the actresses' faces, that you never could notice on that previous soft Blu-ray transfer. Man, they did a great job. Bitrate was a very big surprise. Paramount pulled out the stops for this 20th anniversary limited edition set to bring through a very filmic, nicely stable image with very nice vibrant colors that are presented very good with the Dolby Vision and HDR10. Now, if you want a recommendation of another very enjoyable romantic comedy that my wife and I really enjoy over the years, it's actually an earlier Julia Roberts romantic comedy. That's My Best Friend's Wedding. It's on 4K. Sony released that. I've done the full 4K versus Blu-ray exclusive image comparison review here on this channel. If you want to check that video out, it's available right now, but I do recommend that comedy. It's a very enjoyable film. You'll watch it over and over. This is one of those that my wife and I really enjoy. She was actually thrilled that this was released on 4K because it's one of those comedy films that she absolutely loves watching. And watching it on this release, she was amazed at the quality of it, just like I was. Now, getting to my review score. For Mean Girls, in this limited edition 20th anniversary 4K release, this gets a so-fetch 9.4. It's a must-buy. You need to buy, add to your collection, and don't wait too long. Now, this does come out in about 2 weeks. Like I explained, it was sent to me 2 weeks early from Paramount for me to dive into and review for all of you. But keep in mind, this is a limited edition release in the US only. Once these sell out, they're not planning a reprint. They're not planning to release it again. It's literally a limited edition release. Paramount was very clear about that in their email with their press release about this. So when they let me know this is limited edition, it will sell out. So if you're excited for this film and you're wanting to get it, do not wait to go down and pre-order your copy down below or buy your copy through that link I've posted down below. This is one of those that Paramount did an outstanding job on. As I said, 9.4 is a must-buy. Image and sound, you will enjoy this and you will notice a dramatic improvement over that previous Blu-ray in every single area of the image. You'll never want to watch that Blu-ray again because of how just beautiful this new 4K transfer is. Now, let me know in the comment section below, how excited are you for this upcoming 4K? Are you thrilled that it got such a great 4K transfer? I was. I honestly was worried this was kind of going to be one of those that was kind of put out there that wasn't really much work done on it. But thankfully, Paramount did a good job on this with this 20th anniversary, that it is a worthy upgrade that you will really enjoy, and you'll be surprised. I was, my wife was. She was very surprised at how good this really looks, and this is one of those really enjoyable comedies that she likes to go back to every year or so and watch over and over, and you laugh every time. Tina Fey as the teacher in this was really funny. I mean, obviously Tina Fey wrote it. And I'll tell you, the cast they pulled together for this is really just one of those things that can't be matched. It's one of those films that no matter how many times they try to remake it, the original is really the best way to go. And this is one of those highly recommended films. If you have not checked it out yet, you'll laugh because the comedy on it is very good. Now, if you're gonna buy or pre-order this, make sure to use that direct Amazon sale link I posted down below. That helps to support the creation of these videos. Next up, we have the 2024 Mean Girls musical comedy remake. And it's kind of one of those things, they took a lot of the original script from the original Mean Girls and actually kind of incorporated new musical numbers, expanding on some of the story elements that were in the original Mean Girls. And I will tell you that I do enjoy it. I thought there were some good musical numbers in it. Though I will tell you, it does have some more updated modern story elements in it, that they changed certain things from the original Mean Girls. And so keep that in mind when you're going into it. It is a different thing on its own. Now, it does have some of the same teachers like Tina Fey's in it. But I will say Tina Fey, in my personal opinion, was not as funny in this. And some of her lines just didn't come off as funny or as well done as they were in the original Mean Girls, even though some of them were the exact same lines, and they actually were the exact same script in some elements. It just didn't come off as funny. It just didn't have the same like humor sense of it, in my opinion, as what it did on the original Mean Girls. Now, does that mean that this was not good? No, it was enjoyable, and I will tell you it has some good music in it that I actually thought was very pretty sounding. It had some good catchy tunes in it. It's just a different thing in a sense. You can't go into this thinking of this as a sequel, because it's not. It's more or less just kind of a remake of the same film with kind of slightly expanded story elements, but done in more of a just solid kind of musical film. Now, for this, it does have Dolby Vision and HDR10 for its 4K transfer. I can tell you both the Dolby Vision and HDR10 were very similar. I really didn't notice much variance between them. They're both a very nice and very vibrant looking image. and it does present a very clean and modern, clear looking image. So it doesn't have as much of a filmic transfer as what you got on the original Mean Girls. The original Mean Girls has a very nice filmic film grain throughout it that lends to just a very pleasing image. Now, this does have an English Dolby Atmos audio mix on it. It's very clean and clear, though I will say for the Dolby Atmos mix on this, I did feel like there was some areas that it could have used the height channels quite a bit more, and it could have implemented the height channels in more unique ways. There was numerous sound effects and things going on where I felt like it could have used those height channels and I could have heard stuff coming overhead that it didn't. So it's clean, it's clear, it's a good audio mix, but it's not super immersive for me. It wasn't one of those that I could say I really felt like drew me into the film, where I felt like things were constantly overhead. It just kind of would use the height channels similar in some areas as it did kind of your surrounds, and it just would play some of the music through them and things like that. But it was not an immersive one, and one I could say was one of the best I've ever heard. It reminded me a lot of just kind of a 5.1 mix, more or less, not as much of an amazing Dolby Atmos using those height channels. So that's where I kind of felt like it was kind of one of those things that's enjoyable, but I would have used those height channels a whole lot more in a lot of scenes. I would have implemented it a little bit more uniquely. Now, showing what you get in this, you get this shiny metallic slipcover. It includes over 30 minutes of fetch bonus features. Then on the side, it does say Mean Girls. On the back, it talks about it. Tons of special features talking about the history of Mean Girls, talking about what it's like going and making a musical compared to the original Mean Girls. It does have digital movie copy code in here as well. And then something I did want to point out that I felt like was a slightly missed opportunity. If you've noticed, the 4K case is black, whereas the Mean Girls from 2004 has a pink, hot pink 4K case. I would have used the same hot pink 4K case for the more modern Mean Girls to give it a unique look as well, to kind of combine them together as, hey, they're kind of in the same series type thing. I'm not quite sure why they didn't use the hot pink for the 2024 Mean Girls like they did on this one. Now, I understand this is limited edition, and maybe that's it. Maybe because it's hot pink, it goes with the whole limited edition set, whereas this one's just a standard 4K release. But in my opinion, it would have kind of been cool to have this one in a pink, hot pink case, as just the same as the 2004. Now, showing what you get inside, you get your advertisement for the original Mean Girls in the limited edition set. It even explains on the advertisement, limited edition only. So keep that in mind. The original Mean Girls is the limited edition set. This one is not. Now, this is your 4K disc. It is 100% region free. I will tell you it has all of your special features and everything contained on your 4K disc. There's no Blu Ray included because everything's on your 4K. Now, I did test out the rough average bitrate for all of you, and it is 62 megabits per second. It did have some slight variations throughout it that went pretty low, and it was one of those things that's why it got a 62 megabits per second. It's not the highest I've ever seen, and it did have quite a bit of fluctuations. Now, talking about my thoughts on the film, I did enjoy it. There was some good musical numbers, but I will say some of the elements they changed in the film, just like they got rid of the dad and changed some of the other elements of the original story that was in the original 2004 film. I actually really enjoyed the 2004 film quite a bit more than I did the musical. Now, am I gonna say this is bad? No, it's enjoyable. It's just when you compare them, and that's what everyone's gonna do, because obviously this is just a musical remake of the original 2004. When you sit down and watch them, just like I did, and you see the differences between them, just like my wife said, she preferred the cast, the story, everything in this was just better done in the original than in the remake. Even though the musical numbers were good and they were going for something new with this, it just wasn't as charming and as funny and as comedic, and a lot of the more modern elements they threw into it to me just didn't work as well in this as it did in the original film without a lot of that stuff. And I really felt like this just was the better version, and this is the one that I preferred over the more modern 2024 musical version. But that's up to you to decide. Watch them, get them both, decide what you like better, and then you can decide for yourself. Those are just my opinions about the film itself, and remember, films are always up to the person that's watching them. Every one of us, just like art, sees something different and enjoys something different. So just because I enjoy a film, you might enjoy the musical number just as much as you enjoyed the original one. That's up to you. I'm just sharing my opinions about the film. Now, as far as the image and sound quality goes, getting to my review score. For the 2024 musical comedy Mean Girls, this gets a very good 9.1. It's a good release. It's just got some of those things I said. I would have implemented the Dolby Atmos a little better, and overall I would have made a higher bitrate, just like what they did for the original Mean Girls. Much better job, I think, on the transfer, and that's why this got such a higher review score and is one of those that I was very impressed with. This is still one of those that's a very good release that I recommend checking out and seeing what you think for yourself. Now, it's very important, if you decide you're going to buy either of these, make sure to go down and use that direct Amazon sale link right down there below. That link down there never costs you anything extra, but it's extremely important to me to be able to continue creating all this content. I'm not sponsored and I'm never paid by any of these studios. That's how I can always stay independent, and that's why I test all of these independently. It's because I'm not paid by any studios, I just review them for all of you based on all of your support by using those direct Amazon sale links down there below and joining my Collectors VIP Club. Collectors VIP Club only costs you a couple of bucks every month, but goes straight back into the creation of these videos. I do want to say thank you to every single one of you for using those direct links down there and for joining my Collectors VIP Club. If you've seen both of these films originally, start that conversation down there below and let me know which one's your preferred version. Do you like them both? Do you like the differences between one being a musical, one being a comedy? What did you like about both of them? Let me know if you're excited for these 4K releases now that you've heard my testing analysis and review scores. Start that conversation down there below. I always love to hear what all of you think about these 4K releases and if you're excited for them. As always, I truly hope all of you have a blessed day, and I've always got something new, early, exclusive, and exciting coming out very soon.